Lexington football fans, we're here with head coach Stuart Young for the Wildcat football preview show. Alongside us today, we have quarterbacks coach Stephen Cagle, and we're here to jump in and talk about the game tonight against the Fort Dorchester Patriots in the first round of the South Carolina High School League playoffs. And Coach Cagle, this isn't too far from where you played your college ball, huh?
No, I was there 2 weeks ago for our 2015, well, they can't call us conference champions, but our first year we won conference. So.
Why were you not?
Ineligible benefits, vacated wins.
Oh, that was like the textbook gate or something, right?
Yeah, textbooks, illegal benefits, everyone recruiting illegally, all that NIL money that they gave to CSU. So, yeah, I was down there 2 weeks ago. It's really close. We actually passed by Fort D going to Brewster's afterwards.
Okay. So y'all went undefeated in conference that year?
Yeah, I think we went 10-3. We beat App State and a couple of teams, yeah.
What was your favorite conference win that season at Charleston Southern?
Oh, conference win? I don't know. We played Alabama. We lost to Alabama on their homecoming.
Oh, that's right. You got to get on the field in that game, right?
No, yeah. I played a bunch. We played Derrick Henry, and we actually outscored him in the fourth quarter. We just ran out of time.
Did y'all hear that? Coach Cagle single-handedly outscored Derrick Henry. Yeah, that's what you said, right?
We outscored him 9-7 in the fourth quarter. We just needed.
I'm sure they had all their starters in.
It was 57-9. It was 57-9. We outscored him in the fourth quarter.
Well, heck, what an awesome memory. All right, so, guys, we're going to have a little fun first here, okay? I know people have been doing the whole, start, bench, cut, something like that. We're going to do something a little similar with the first college football playoff rankings, since you guys are two of the smartest coaches I know. The top 12 currently for college football rankings are Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and Oklahoma. Just outside of there, you know that probably in Oklahoma or somebody's not gonna make it, or Texas. You got Utah, Virginia, Louisville kind of lurking right there. Okay, so what I want is your favorite to win it, your dark horse to win it, and your overrated probably gonna get upset. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Overrated Indiana. I just don't believe they are gonna. Maybe I'm wrong. Hadn't seen a whole lot of them, but I guess I'm leaning on what happened kind of last year and that style of play they, play with. I think they're probably at 2. I mean, I don't know how battle tested they are. So I would go with overrated Indiana. Dark horse is Ole Miss.
Ooh, I like it.
I think Coach Kiffin is a really, really good football coach. And the favorite, I think I'm going to go with Alabama, and I believe he's got a chip on his shoulder. Coach DeBoer, he hears all that stuff in the back of his, everywhere he goes about Saban, and Saban's there still on campus, and I think he's got a really good team, first of all, and I think he's learned a lot after his first year doing it, and the disappointment he had. I think his second year he's going to take it.
Yeah, I think honestly, I was thinking, because my favorite's Ohio State. I just think they have the best team, best talent wise. So I think they're the favorite. And I went to the Ohio State Tennessee playoff game last year, and if playing there's it's a different atmosphere. It's really, really cool. And so I think they're the favorite.
Was it intense, like compared to a Williams-Brice?
It's just so many people.
Okay.
It's so many people. And it's just you can't see anything outside the stadium.
Wow!
Except the big, huge drone show they do. But anyways, they and then it sounds crazy. I would say the dark horse for me is Alabama, because you haven't really heard a lot of people talking about them. I was going in between them or Georgia. They both have losses, so people aren't talking about them as much. I hear people talk about Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin says all this crazy stuff, but. They just keep getting better, it seems. Those two teams keep getting better every week, and it's going to be hard to beat them. And then overrated, I'll say Texas Tech, kind of for the same reasons Coach did about Indiana. Just, if Texas Tech had to play Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, are they ranked 7? They're probably around – I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're just probably got two losses at least, I'd think. So, I think that's why I'd choose them for overrated.
Well, I'd go favorite Ohio State myself. Dark horse, I actually like Notre Dame, because I think once it gets colder, I think they got the 2 best backs in the country. I think they got 2 losses by like a combined 5 points or something. Really like Coach Freeman and what he does, and he found a way to battle back to the national championship last year. And then overrated, I think that Texas A&M has benefited from some timely wins, and they've had some close wins against teams that probably shouldn't have been close. They get basically LSU's coach fired, but that team is already in turmoil. I think they've had some timely placed opponents, and maybe as a Carolina fan, I'll regret saying that when we lose 56-3 this weekend or something. but I'm not quite sold on Texas A&M being an undefeated number 3 in the rankings. So there you go, folks. Maybe y'all think we're really smart, and maybe you think we're not. But there's our college football.
Is this DeBoer's second year?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought,
nope.
I thought I was right.
All right, so Coach Young, obviously we are not, heading into the playoffs with the momentum that we wanted. But I have checked in with you a few times this week about practice, and you seem to be really pleased with the response of the guys. So where we were coming off the loss this week, and I know that hurt the kids, it hurt coaches, hurt you guys. But how has bouncing back been, this week getting ready for the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, our kids, they're a very resilient group. Been that way all year long with injuries and losses or just things not going our way at times, and they've been very resilient, and this week was no exception. We brought up some guys from the younger groups, JV, B team, to help with practice, and they, that's been an energizing thing as well, to bring some guys that are, very, very hungry to be a part of something that they hadn't been a part of before, like in varsity practice, and so that's helped. We've got the playoffs. Everybody's 0-0. I know that's cliche. I say that a lot here, but it is the truth. I mean, the past is done. None of that affects what we got to do now, and that's go to the playoffs and it's win or go home. So it's a different feeling, about it.
Yeah, Coach Cagle, we've been playing 2 quarterbacks a good bit lately, and both guys really are doing a great job in different aspects. But now that things have kind of leveled out, both guys have gotten some play, recently the last few weeks since Avery came back from injury. Just kind of what differences are those guys bringing to the table, and just kind of talk about the ability and how it helps the offense to be able to rely on a little bit different skill sets in different situations.
Yeah, and I think they are a little different, and there are some similarities. They're both very intelligent football players, and it's been cool to see them kind of grow and just know, hey, when Coach Wilder calls this play or calls that play, and they're giving us this look, this is where the ball should go. And they've both done a great job this week in practice doing that and mastering that game plan. Really, the thing that we've talked about in our room is quarterbacks always get way too much blame when we lose, and they get too much credit when we win. They're just like another coach really on the field. And so we've talked about shouldering that burden together, about our room coming together and it being all about wins and losses. Tom Brady isn't considered the best ever because he was the best thrower. It's because he won the most, and that's what you're judged by as a quarterback. And so we're just trying to come together as a group and say, hey, I'm going to cheer my tail off when he does well. I'm going to cheer my tail off when he goes good, because it's about the Lexington Wildcats winning a football game. And they both bring a little different things, and it's cool to see them kind of grow in that role, and what a standard that sets for the rest of the team.
Sure. Well, Coach, after a full regular season, Coach Cagle, just while we're still talking offensive football, who comes to mind as an offensive player after a full 10 games who you think's made a lot of progress this year? Could be a varsity kid, could be maybe some young players on sub-varsity that you think are going to make a name for themselves in the future. Just kind of give a summary about that side of the ball and specific players that have made big strides.
I mean, Markel Bird has – if you told me he was going to catch 4 passes for 59 yards and a touchdown last Friday night, I would have been like, Markel Bird, and just seeing him grow over and over, and he just competes his tail off. He's had a great year, and he thought he was going to be splitting time with someone coming into the year, and really he's played almost every snap. And that's been a lot of the story of our guys. I mean, Wes Gorsuch has played every snap pretty much all year, and some of the O-linemen have gotten a lot better. I don't think Sean Leusdorf was starting at the beginning of the year, and now he's playing right tackle. Hunter Winarski came in. He's played about every snap. And so, they've dealt with some injuries up there with Brennan, and Blake Crocker got hurt earlier in the year, and and then Mansberger this past week. Mansberger was another one. He'd probably be the first one I talked about. Really didn't play last year at all. I wouldn't have known him from Adam when he showed up to spring workouts this spring, and he's probably been the most consistent O-lineman all year. And I hate it for him that his senior year got cut short by that ACL. And then young players on sub-varsity. I think people saw Victor Kaczynski had a huge catch in the varsity game. He's up on varsity now. I think Leon is getting his footing. He's only a sophomore. I forget sometimes that he's only a sophomore. Brooks Warren, Ethan Geiger, Evan Geiger, and then, East, we have a bunch of great. Avery's only a junior. We have Easton, we have Lott, and we have Max Cooper. Max Cooper almost didn't play a snap last year as a ninth grader on B team, and he basically led our JV to the best season they've had in a while.
Long time, yeah.
So it's really cool. The O-line's really good. You might see some young guys in the playoffs and on the O-line, and really excited. Brooks got a little brother, Landon Warren, that Coach Wilder loves, a freshman tight end, H-back kind of. So I'm really excited for those guys and just seeing them grow. It'll be great to be with Trevor in the weight room this offseason and see how they develop and change, and because those kids are all bought in, and they're going to be really good if they continue on the path they're on.
Yeah. Well, same thing for you, Coach, about defense.
Well, you coming into the year, I think we had one returning starter on defense, and then I think not too many on offense, but one on defense. So, that's coming back next year. You'll have about 5 or 6 returning starters on defense, and so I think. But why wait till next year? We've been through a season this year. This is the new season. This is the next year. So those guys, let's start now and because they are experienced now, 5 or 6 of those guys that will be coming back. And then as far as the young guys are concerned, like Coach Cagle said, you may see some young guys, sophomores and maybe even a freshman, get some reps tonight on both sides of the ball. But defensively, we've got some skilled guys from the JV team that we pulled up. I hate to name a bunch of names because I don't want to leave anybody out, but they've got an opportunity to, and that's why I go back to what I said earlier about this week of practice, because those guys brought a different type of energy because they know that this is new to them and novel, and so they were excited to be there, and I think that resonated amongst the whole team. So just even if they don't play a bunch of snaps during the playoffs, them being there and helping the attitude of the team, I think was a shot of passion, I guess you'd say. But that ninth grade group, now I'm telling you, there's a bunch of guys that's going to be 10th grade next year that you're going to see on the varsity roster. I'm just telling you right now, those guys can go.
Love it. Well, Fort Dorchester is 4-6 on the season. Wins over Beaufort, Goose Creek, West Ashley, and Stall. They average 17 points per game on offense, but are giving up 38 points per game on defense. And so, Coach Young, just tell us what you see from their offense on film. I know, given who they are, they've got to have, some good players, even though they've, maybe record-wise for a Fort Dorchester historically, you're looking at this as a down team. But just what have you guys seen film-wise this week?
Well, I even highlighted something on the sheet that you gave us earlier about good players. Yeah, they have some good players. They've got a bunch of good athletes, a lot of speed, a lot of size too. They, like you said, traditionally you see a record and you look at stats or whatever and you think, this is a down year, but then you turn on the tape and there's moments where it's like, whoa, that looks good. That they've got some guys that can go, and they've shown potentially to be a breakout offense, that they can move the ball down the field. They do multiple things. They will spread you out and throw it, and then they'll come in and use their size and bring some guys in from the offensive line to help pound the rock and just try to mush you. And so they do 2 different things, and we've got a plan hopefully to stop or slow down both of those styles of offense, and it'll be fun to watch our guys compete and put our plan to the field.
Yeah. Well, again, Coach Cagle, they're giving up 38 a game on defense, so clearly they've had some games where they struggled to get stops, including 2 weeks ago. They were in a shootout with Stall. I think that was a 70-something to 50-something game. Kind of reminded me of that maybe some game. Were you a part of that Camden game?
No, that was the year after I graduated.
Oh, okay. So there was a game at AC Floor, I thought Coach Cagle was the quarterback back then. We had a shootout with Camden, and it was 70-something to 50-something too. I've never seen his dad more stressed out after a loss than that game.
He didn't call me for a week.
Coach Cagle, where can the Wildcats find some success tonight offensively?
Yeah, I think they're a 3-down and a 4-down defense, and they do a bunch of different things in coverage. I think a little bit like us offensively, I don't think they knew exactly what they wanted to be coming in, and they've kind of settled down. They've had some players get hurt. They've had to play some different guys. They got some linebackers who were pretty good, some D linemen who were pretty good, and some DBs. But we're just gonna try to formation them and try to get them to line up. One of the hardest things to do in high school football on defense, lining up, and so. We're going to give them some different looks, try to get the ball to our playmakers and let them make plays. And watching them on film, I don't know how much they played. They played a tough schedule, and even Stahl. I think people think of Stahl as in the opposite way of Fort Dorchester, but Stahl had some players. They had a quarterback probably have 400, 500 all-purpose yards that night, and they just gotten empty, and it's tough to stop that stuff. And so. I think tonight, if we can execute our game plan, I think we came up with a good one, and we block them, and we throw and catch the ball and take care of the ball. I think we'll be able to move the ball on them and have success, and so that's what we're trying to do: just execute the game plan and not play outside of ourselves. So if we do that, we'll have success, and it'll be a good night for the Wildcats.
Amen. Well, listeners, thanks for joining us today. Joining myself, Coach Cagle, Coach Young. Thanks again to Paula Calhoun for partnering and supporting Lexington Athletics. Coach, I'm excited for tonight. Playoffs are a reset, just like you said, and we've played really well against some really good teams and have certainly played a heck of a schedule this season. So I know you and your team can make a little run here, starting with the Patriots tonight. So go represent us with class and toughness as you always do. And with head coach Stuart Young signing off, everyone, go Wildcats and hail to thee.